I am standing here at NAMAD, but more particularly the WOCAN Luncheon. And I mean, it started as a luncheon, but I feel like it's a lot more than that. I'm with Kerri Wise, the co-founder and president of WOCAN, also at AutoFi, and you're the CMO, or yes, exactly. So she has many extravagant titles, but the thing I love about you, and when you get up and today and you're celebrating this wonderful event that brings together an incredible community within auto, but the way at which you approach people never changes because of a title or a founding thing or anything like that. Talk to me about the approach with particularly the WOCAN community today.
Well, for me, it was important for me as a woman of color that has reached a high level in the industry to give back. And a lot of times we talk about diversity and how we need to improve diversity in automotive. And I think of that as an individual problem, that I can only impact individuals. And by individuals, I mean women of color. How can we empower them? How can we educate them and help them level up? Because we're not going to change the entire system in the country, in the automotive industry, but I can impact an individual and help them navigate this system and reach the top. And that's really our goal, is to help them and empower them, but also to connect them, because it's awfully lonely and you will only know what that's like if you've been the only one in the room.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I was overhearing just a couple of the conversations and people going up and saying hi to each other. And one of the common themes is like, I knew there were others out there. I just didn't know where they were. And this is like putting up a beacon saying, here we are. And part of the empowerment is just look around. There's others that have been in the places that you've been, or can encourage you in the place that you are right now. What is it like to meet some of those other people that are in places that they never thought there were other people like them?
You know, it reminds me a lot of sports, and I think about the Williams sisters, Serena and Venus. And as soon as I saw them playing tennis, I put my daughter in tennis. I had no plans before that. I was not interested in tennis. But when I saw a black girl playing tennis, I thought, well, why couldn't my daughter do that? And I think that's what it's like to be a human being, that if you don't see it, you just assume it's not possible, or it's too hard for you, or it's not for you. And a lot of times that's what happens in the automotive industry. One, we don't attract different faces because they don't see themselves. And people quit. They leave the industry because, once again, they don't have those mentors that look like them, that take them under their wings. And so for us, for WOCAN, we're like an extension of an employee resource group, right? You're never going to have a WOCAN at any company because you don't have enough of us. We are that employee resource group that can help connect these women, can give peer-to-peer advice to each other and support each other. And just being in that room for me as a woman of color, there's never been a bigger audience of women of color in all of the automotive industry. I literally think if there was a record book, we might have just made it right now.
Someone put it in the world record book. We did
Guinness, where's Guinness? Call me up. But for me, it's, I always thought about my marketing career. I thought about my career in automotive and these digital spaces as my legacy, but this is really what's going to be my legacy, because I can use my own power, my own influence to really help the next person behind me, and that's so important to me.
When we talk about legacy, you all just handed an award to Diana Lee of Constellation. She's created this incredible agency and now software company over the last 7 years. And her final encouragement, I'd love for you to talk to it a little bit, because I've heard you say these things before, was, hey, there's a level of this kind of inhibited desire to ask for things, to be present, to put yourself in the room, or to put yourself in the opportunity. Talk a little bit about what that looks like for particularly women of color, but any people that feel like they're the only person in the room.
Yeah, I mean, we know that there's challenges in the system, but all you can control is what you can control. And for me, it's myself. It's what I bring to the table. It's leveling up and educating myself. And I think what Diana talked about is the fact that as women, we are inherently trained when we're young to be good girls, to follow the rules. And we're punished when we color outside of those lines. But that does not work when you're in the business world. There's a lot of it that you can take that's an advantage from a relational standpoint, but making those hard decisions, you can't always be that good girl. And so that is, I think, the challenge of being a woman. And then you add the woman of color to it. You add the race component to it, where you're the first generation, male or female, to go to college. You're the first generation maybe to ever have a corporate job. You're the first generation to be middle class, or like Diana, you're the first generation to be American. Now you add a whole nother layer of socioeconomic challenges that if you don't break past that mindset, it can hold you back. And so I think Diana's like, it is a personal responsibility to ask for what you want, to put back past what we've been trained when we were little, and break through that. That's what's needed to be successful, not only in automotive, but really in any career.
Right, I love that. It's like a pursuit. It's go after it. It's be aggressive about your personal ability to impact your life's change. And the other part of that was like, it takes the next person standing next to you to advocate for that. And so I love that about WOCAN, and just like, if you've never been here, you got to come and experience the energy, because it's just this it's this vibe, you know?
I think it's like a spiritual, right? It has this feeling of community, and that's because we've never, ever experienced it. It is, for everyone in this room, they are all unicorns. We're trying to capture them because in many cases, they are the only one in their companies at their levels. And so to be in this room is weird for us, really, right? When you work in the automotive industry, but it's also this spiritual experience. It's a spiritual experience that goes beyond any kind of conference or event.
Yeah, it's connected. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Tell those that maybe haven't connected with WOCAN, like how can they connect, whether they are women of color or not, to what you all are doing?
Yes, I want you to join us at WOCAutonetwork.com, WOCAutonetwork.com. You'll see become a member link. Click on that. You'll be a part of us. You'll hear about our events and all of that. Also, if you're an ally, a white guy, it's really guys and white women who are allies, non-women of color, you can also join us as an ally. And we have events, and we'll involve you as well. So join the movement.
I can speak to that. I get the emails. I get on the Zoom calls sometimes. You should be a part of it. Kerri, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for watching this episode of In the Dirt with ASOTU. If you're new to our channel, make sure and mash that like and subscribe button. Also, check out some of these links for our other great podcasts and content.